fuck are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2002 movie, Jason X. In this movie, the movie begins in the year 2010, and Jason, gets frozen, in a cryogenic stasis and everything when being pursued by the United States government, and he wakes up 445 years later in the year 2455, and a group of scientists find him and take him aboard their ship to take him to Earth 2, and he starts wreaking havoc on the ship. And the person who was pursuing Jason, named Rowan, is also taken to the ship because she was also frozen too and everything, and almost killed by Jason, but luckily with advanced medical, all the 445 years later, the treatment and stuff, they were able to save her. So she's trying to help the people on board of the ship stop Jason and help them get away from him. But yeah, so that's pretty much the story of Jason X. This movie is always been one that I've always had a lot of fun with. It's just a really balls to the walls out there story and stuff. They wanted to bring Jason back into the mainstream and stuff to get people prepared for Freddy vs. Jason and everything. And I know a lot of people either love this movie or they hate it and everything. It's one of those that seems to get a lot of mixed thoughts from people, but I've always enjoyed this one quite a bit, and that could be nostalgia too, because this was the only one that I had on VHS as a kid at the time I got it, like, not too long after it first came out, and I watched it all the time when I first got it. So this is one of the ones that I have the most nostalgia for, along with the first one in the franchise. So, and of course Freddy vs. Jason. Those were the three that I had the most access to and everything. Yeah, I absolutely love Jason X. It's a really fun movie. It's not necessarily a great movie, but it's a fun B movie and everything. That the cast in here are all having fun. You can tell they're having fun making this movie, and it has some really good practical sets and some terrible early 2000s CGI, but it's really entertaining. And it has one of the best kills in the franchise. Some people would even say that it is the best kill in the franchise, when he freezes a woman's face in the cryogenic acid, and then he smashes it into the counter. It's really brutal, but it's awesome, and we get all kinds of other really cool kills and stuff. And with being set in the future, it just they're able to heal themselves easier at some of them. Some of them they're not. Most of them they're not able to save, but still has some crazy kills. And there's this one scene where this girl is getting she's like, there's a hole in the ship and she's about to be sucked out of the ship like an alien and stuff, and she's hanging on for dear life, and she's like, oh, this sucks on so many levels, right before she ends up letting go and flies through the little hole in the ship, and it looks like she turns into bacon. It's really funny moment and everything. It's cheesy and everything, but it cracks me up every time I watch it. And it has some really good self-aware humor and stuff too. Like, there's this part where they put him in this little virtual reality Camp Crystal Lake thing, and these two girls are like, hey, you want to get drunk and high and have premarital sex? And then they get in their sleeping bags, and Jason like starts picking them up and beating each other, and then he throws one of them into a tree, doing a callback to part 7, which I thought was pretty cool. But it has a lot of really fun moments and stuff, and like there's a scene where these guys are playing this virtual reality game and stuff, and Jason shows up, and they think that he's part of the game and everything, and he kills them, and it looks really bad CGI and stuff, and that scene probably would bother me, except for they're playing a game, so to me it was just like they were playing the game instead of it actually being them fighting real monsters and stuff and everything, and then he kills them, and but it's a fun movie and everything. It's not one of the best in the franchise, but I probably would have it higher in my ranking than most people would, just because of the nostalgia, and I just find it to be really entertaining. Always have, and everything. And it's one of those, the more I watch it as an adult, I think the more the nostalgia kicks in on it and makes me enjoy it even more. And I personally feel this is the best performance of Kane Hodder as Jason, especially during the Uber Jason scenes towards the end. He just looks so awesome in this movie and everything. I love Uber Jason, and every time I watch it, I just can't help but think, man, he just looks so cool and everything. And I think Rowan was a pretty decent final girl. She's not one of the very best, but she's still pretty decent. Definitely the best one in a long time, though, and for the franchise. And I like all the other characters in here. There's and everything. There's not really any character in here that gets on my nerves really badly. Like that's one thing that most of these movies have, at least that one character that gets on my nerves, but this one really didn't have that and everything. It's one of the first ones in a long time for that to happen too. So I have fun with this one and everything. So I'd say I'd give Jason X a 7.5 out of 10. It's a really entertaining movie. It is kind of like a B movie and stuff, but it's a lot of fun, and it just, every time I watch it, I always enjoy it and everything. So yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Jason X, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.